Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I rise in support of the amendment because I'm not really sure why we would want more people to get addicted to nicotine. I mean, that can only lead to more tobacco usage, not less. And frankly, when you have the kinds of flavors that are marketed in these products, they are only doing that marketing for one reason. That is to lure more young people towards the idea that smoking is cool, that smoking is fun, that consuming a potentially harmful product is a positive and good thing to do. What hasn't been mentioned, Mr. Chairman, is that there's also some pretty significant danger to using these products. And I think every member has these pictures of explosions that have taken place from the use of e-cigarettes with pretty horrific burns, house fires, abrasions. It's clear that more research needs to be done. And Dr. Harris, I have to tell you, and Mr. Chairman, I'll do this through you. You and I have agreed on many issues like this one throughout our discussions on issues like this, and it's a little troubling to me that you would not be supportive of this amendment, because all that this amendment does is make sure that we still will have the ability to have a pre-market review of products that the jury is still out on. We want to make sure before they are fully authorized to be marketed commercially that there is a pre-market review, because if we don't have one, then you have to actually try to get them off the market, which is far more challenging than allowing them to have a full-on authority to remain on the market commercially.
Mr. Chairman, would the gentlelady yield just for a second?
Sure. Be happy to yield.
I agree that regulation is needed. There's no question about it. The question is, do we harm, as Dr. Abrams said in this article, do we harm the ability of this disruptive technology to be able to replace combusted cigarettes because we kill the industry with this because of the pre-marketing requirement?
In reclaiming my time, I will say there is no harm in having a pre-market review. The harm, you're not going to kill the industry, and there's no one that could actually show you any data that would say that this industry would go down if you have this cohort of products that is essentially being grandfathered in, which means you're going to basically look the other way and say, we're going to ignore whether this group of products is harmful or not. That's not going to bring down the whole industry, but it will be much more difficult to get them off the market if you don't have that pre-market review. And lastly, Mr. Chairman, before I sit down, I want to point out, from the year 2011 to the year 2015, there were 1,732 cases of poisoning from liquid nicotine reported by the American Association of Poison Control Centers. And from January of this year to June of this year, there were 1,732 cases of poisonings, including child deaths. A pre-market review is absolutely essential. I urge the members' support of the amendment.
Further discussion.